Welcome to Living Local with Lori. Hi, I'm Lori Johanneson, a top performing realtor in Naperville and the surrounding suburbs. Today on Living Local, we are at the Growing Place, and I'm excited to be standing here on this beautiful sunny day, finally, with Kyle.
Thank you for coming out today. We're excited that spring is finally here. The weather is finally starting to warm up, and the forecast next week is in the 80s. So it's a good time to start planting or start preparing to plant. As long as your ground is not really saturated and wet, you can start working in it. I know we still have a few more days of rain, but most everything will be out in the next couple of days. If it's not out already, we've stocked a lot of the tables. Annuals is starting to fill up, and there's only a few items that they hold back until the weather has really warmed up. So perhaps by the end of next week, we'll have hopefully all of our selections out for you.
We just stepped a little bit behind the scenes here at the Growing Place, and if you don't mind sharing a little bit about where we are standing now.
We are in one of the perennial production frames or greenhouses. We do grow over half of our perennials and annuals here at the Aurora store for both of our locations. These are the coral bells or heuchera. They come in a huge assortment of foliage colors, and some have some really nice colorful flowers just like these. And you can see behind us just a tapestry of color. Great for a partially shaded area. They do like some decent drainage, but you can also use them in a container. So they're great right by the front door to add a burst of color all season.
We've toured a little bit further back, and we are in the herb garden.
This is our house number 6 in the perennial production area where we grow all of our herbs. We do grow the edible plants separate from the ornamentals. So we grow them as organically as possible. Things like lavender. We have a whole wall of basil, but dill, parsley, thyme. We've got all sorts of them, and they'll be out on the sales floor.
It smells amazing back here.
Thanks.
This is awesome. I just stepped into what I feel like is heaven right now, which is the tropical house, and I pointed out over there a flower I'd love to bring home, but will it survive at my house?
It will survive. These are tropicals. They were actually grown in South Florida, and they just arrived this past month, but they don't like cold temperatures. That's why we have them in the greenhouse. So you can bring them into the house as a house plant later in the season, or you can treat them as an annual and just say goodbye to them once the cold weather comes back. But next week, they should be good to be outside.
I just walked into Happy, actually the annual room, but it sure does make me happy to be surrounded by all these wonderful flowers that are bringing us to the summer months.
This is the annual greenhouse where we've got lots of things like hanging baskets. The crew starts planting a lot of these in January, and then they hang them up and they start making their way out to the sales floor. A lot of these are already out, but then we have another round. So if you've missed the first round, there is a fresh selection that will be out. These were just trimmed. They'll be hung and spaced, and they'll be nice and floriferous when you come to see them. And if this is overwhelming, we do have sales staff here that can help, whether it's designing a container or just helping pick out a shrub, a perennial. We've got it all, and we're here to help. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Kyle, for allowing us to come tour the Growing Place with, and I can't imagine anybody more full of knowledge than you. So thank you for that. We always love to end our Living Locals with a fun fact. So if you can share one about yourself, that would be awesome.
Okay, fun fact is I was hired 26 years ago by Geraldine Sleeth, who is a friend of and client of Lori and Lisa's. So yeah, and the Growing Place has been in Naperville since 1936, still in the same family.
It's absolutely wonderful here, so please come out and check it out for yourself. Please remember to follow us on our social media channels as well as livinglocalwithlori.com.